Is Mario a psychopath? Many experts on the internet have given their opinion on this topic, but what does an actual therapist think? Well, I'll tell you, because I am one. First of all, the term psychopath is not really used clinically anymore. A more appropriate modern term would be antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial in this case doesn't mean that a person is shy or doesn't like to be around other people. It means that they don't care about other people. They have no empathy for them at all. It's actually the most extreme of three different disorders: oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, and antisocial personality disorder. So let's just start at the middle with conduct disorder and see if Mario even meets criteria for that. So the essential feature of conduct disorder is a repetitive and persistent pattern of behavior in which the basic rights of others are violated. There's a long list of possible behaviors someone might engage in to meet criteria for this diagnosis, so let's look at a few that might fit the bill with Mario. Often initiates physical fights, has used a weapon that can cause serious physical harm to others, has been physically cruel to animals, has stolen while confronting a victim, has deliberately engaged in fire setting with the intention of causing serious damage, has deliberately destroyed others' property, has broken into someone else's house, building, or car. So to meet criteria for conduct disorder, Mario would need to show at least 3 of these behaviors. I easily just named 7 of them. So it seems like Mario at least has conduct disorder. But antisocial personality disorder? Psychopathy? Mario also does a lot of other things that are helpful to other people, that show that perhaps he does care for others. For example, he's rescued Princess Peach many times at great personal risk to himself. It is just really unlikely that someone with antisocial personality disorder would go to that length to help out another person. So I think conduct disorder is probably the best fit. Or is it? There might be another explanation for Mario's behavior that is outside the realm of conduct disorder. Specifically, he might be engaging in these behaviors for a very specific reason. For example, while he's rescuing the princess, he might need to do things he wouldn't normally do because that situation is so extreme. Looking at it in this context, maybe Mario's just having a normal reaction to an extreme situation. However, I don't think we should let Mario off the hook that easily, because he does a lot of these behaviors when it has nothing to do with rescuing Princess Peach. For example, he steals money from other people, coins, when he doesn't need those at all. He's attacked men while they're just practicing football. He's even pretended to be a medical doctor, and that ended up leading to the spread of all these different viruses, including red and the dreaded blue virus. Also, recently, he's engaged in a lot of these behaviors with Princess Peach, so certainly they weren't required in order to rescue her. She was already rescued. So it looks as if conduct disorder is a pretty good fit for Mario. He's not a psychopath. However, he does have some other issues that warrant some clinical attention. So make sure to subscribe, and next week we'll talk about whether or not Mario has pyromania or an issue with mushrooms. Is Mario a pyromaniac? Well, he sure seems obsessed with fire. I mean, what kind of a person would set a turtle on fire? Well, there's more to pyromania, though, than enjoying fire's warm, glowing, warming glow. He could be setting fires for some other reason. So pyromania is actually closely related to anxiety. The diagnostic manual describes a person with pyromania as feeling a lot of tension before setting a fire and a lot of relief after setting the fire or watching it burn. It's as if something about fire offers a relief to their anxiety. To warrant a diagnosis for pyromania, Mario would need to be setting fires for this and only this purpose. It's admittedly unclear if Mario is having a lot of tension before throwing fireballs and relief after throwing them, although he does smile when he throws them. But it seems much more likely that he's using fire as a way of overcoming something in his past, such as Bowser. If he's using fire in this way, then it probably has more to do with conduct disorder than with pyromania. So sorry, pyromaniacs of the world, Mario cannot join your secret clubs, but he might have one more issue worth looking at, so make sure to subscribe, and next week we'll talk about if he's got an issue with mushrooms. It's no secret that Mario has taken quite a few mushrooms, but does he have a drug problem? And are the mushrooms even those kind of mushrooms? Well, figuring out if Mario is taking magic mushrooms is a little bit complicated. I mean, when he eats one, is he actually doubling in size, or is this just some sort of hallucinatory perception? Well, it's worth noting that there is currently no known fungi in the world that would cause such a reaction, so we're left to assume that Mario is in fact hallucinating, which is a property of eating mushrooms that are psychoactive. He also eats mushrooms that apparently give him the impression that he can die and then come back to life. This has caused him to engage in lots of behaviors that are pretty dangerous, like jumping over pits of lava. These types of delusional beliefs can also accompany taking psychoactive chemicals. In fact, much of the fantastical environments in the Mario games could be explained as hallucinatory experiences. Though Mario lacks some of the other criteria of hallucinogen intoxication, such as slurred speech, blurred vision, incoordination, his psychotic symptoms are severe enough that I think we can safely say that he is intoxicated. So we know that Mario is using psychoactive mushrooms, but does he have an addiction? Or does he just use them recreationally? Well, there's really two different levels of drug problems, substance abuse being less serious than substance dependence. Mario doesn't seem to have developed a tolerance to mushrooms, that is, he takes one mushroom and gets the same effect each time. If he was building a tolerance to them, then he would need more and more mushrooms to get the same effect. He also doesn't really have any withdrawal symptoms. However, it should be noted that hallucinogens typically are not physiologically addictive. That is, the body doesn't become addicted to them, like with heroin, but a person might still become psychologically addicted to them. Using mushrooms do seem to have some adverse effects on him, though. As I mentioned before, he's playing around lava, he's jumping over bottomless pits. He probably wouldn't do these things if he wasn't high on mushrooms and hallucinating. Even though the mushrooms create a lot of problems for Mario, his drug use probably doesn't rise to the level of substance dependence. But what about substance abuse? Well, it seems as if Mario's mushroom habit has caused a big problem for him in his occupation. I mean, he's a plumber who doesn't plumb. It looks as if he's gotten ready to go plumbing, put on his overalls, but then he takes some mushrooms and his work ethic just goes down the drain, or down the tubes. This behavior is kept up for quite some time. This isn't just like a one-time thing. So it looks like Mario does in fact meet criteria for hallucinogen abuse. Well, that's it for Mario. Overall, he seems to be pretty well functioning and put together, but he's got a few problems to iron out. Well, make sure to subscribe and tune in next time, though, when we will talk about Princess Peach. Why is she getting kidnapped so often?